Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We are with Iron Phoenix, our natural scrapper martial arts super reflex, who has 59,000 experience earned at level 16. Iron Man mode, we have not died yet. It's going to probably happen someday, but, well, it will happen at some point. It's inevitable, but so far, so good with this character. I think at this point, we can safely say we know it is easily the second best character, second furthest character that we've gotten done. But I think it's very clear that this is my best character, and not just because I say it, right, but because in terms of the performance, this character has done more with less, right? The only character that got a few levels above this to level 19 was our Guardian. That was the first one I did, and I was still using these email inspirations under character items and stuff like that. I've now declared those off limits, but I think if you go back and watch, there are several missions in which the Guardian would have died if I had not been able to rely on those inspirations. And so I suspect the Guardian would have been dead long before level 16. Additionally, that Guardian didn't have to fight any bosses. So I think the combination of not being able to use the emailed inspirations and fighting bosses instead of lieutenants, going all the way back to level 4 or 5 or 6, that Guardian would have been dead long before level 16. And so it's pretty clear that this character is the one that I've done the best with. I'm also a little more used to Iron Man mode, to be fair. But I think there's simply no question that this is the type of character that I'm good at playing. Alright, so now we've got a whole bunch of... Hang on, we've got some trainers we can actually use here. Let's put the level 16 on Cobra Strike. This is not useful. We can put more endurance reducers on focus fighting and just reduce the endurance even a little bit more. Don't know if there's any point to putting the lower... Well, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of extra damage if we can. There we go. I think that helps a little bit. Every little bit kind of helps. We also want to get as much influence as we can. We're now at 165,000 influence. Let's take a look at the auction house. We haven't sold anything yet. It's been close to a week now since we put the very first one up there. That's sold for $1 million a bunch of times, and then one time sold for 11,000. So what's going on there, I don't know. I guess there are a lot of others, either a lot of others that are up for lower, or there are others that are up for higher prices, but nobody's bidding as much as 100,000. It's sort of hard for me to believe with 35 or 40 people bidding that not one of the rich people just said, screw it, because I've done this. I'll pay $1 million for the damn thing. I want it. And I don't know exactly how it works in the auction house. Like, let's say you put it up for 10,000, I put it up for 100,000, and somebody else puts it up for $1 million. And a person bids $1 million. Does the guy who put it up for $1 million get it? Or does the guy who put it up for 90,000 get it because he undersold everybody? I don't really know how that works. So we've got our Cobra Strike. That should be helping us. These are clockworks, so endurance could be an issue. We'll go ahead and lead with this. The main reason I do this is not really for a pull, but rather just to do a lot of damage. Because it does a massive amount of damage. Missed that guy. And, you know, with like one more strike, we can knock it out. And so at least until we, you know, have our enhancements in and focus chi, recycling more quickly, and so on, I think it'll be worthwhile to have that Nemesis staff be a battle opener for us. You can also pull, which we'll try to do here. It's not a great pulling mechanism, and the reason is it knocks them back and knocks them down, and then you got to wait for them to get up and come over to you. It's really better to pull with something like Warrior's Challenge, just to get them to you. So we need to free 4 students from the clocks. Double misses. An 82% chance to hit, too. But at this point, without being able to enhance for damage, that Nemesis Staff does more damage than our other attacks. Let's take a look here, though. I do want to make the point. Even with DOs, we wouldn't have a lot of enhancements for damage. This would... Normally, the way I do DOs at this level is paired accuracy. And I leave the rest of it bare, because there's no point to just having one in just whatever. And then here I'll usually do paired endurance and leave the rest of it blank. And I don't usually slot in here at this level. Now, obviously, at 22nd level you do, and at 17th level, if you're wealthy, I might. But one of the things that's important to remember is even whether or not you're using dual origins or not, at the low levels you don't have a lot of slots, because you get powers so much faster than you get slots at this level. Right? And so we have all of these powers, but most of them don't have a lot of slots. We haven't finished slotting Focus Fighting yet. Level 17 will probably do that. We don't have triple slots on Focus Chi. We have nothing on Cobra Strike yet. We only have one on Thunder Strike. We've finished slotting Health and Stamina, of course, but you just don't have enough slots to slot to put slots in everything, right? And so even if you could get SOs at this level, you couldn't SO very many of your powers very well because you just don't have the slots. Speaking of slots and stuff, let's talk a little bit about builds. One of my fellow former supergroup mates who plays a lot of Scrappers and Stalkers did a screenshot of her build at level 50 with just some sets. She had still had a bunch of her enhancements empty, just empty sockets. Why you wouldn't put SOs in there or something just until you get the sets, I don't know. But maybe she was in the middle of... Maybe she had them in there and she had taken them out because she was in the middle of putting new stuff. I don't know. But she said, here's what my build is so far. And what I thought was really interesting, so it was Street Justice Super Reflexes. So I don't know anything about Street Justice. But I know a lot about Super Reflexes. And one of the things I immediately noticed was that she was level 50. She didn't have a loot. A lot of Super Reflex Scrappers don't take it, I guess. She didn't want it. Don't remember what pool power she had. But yeah, no elude on a Super Reflex Scrapper. That just boggles my mind. I don't know how it's instituted here because I haven't played with it on Rebirth yet, but I don't think they changed it on Homecoming, and it's an amazing panic power that can really save your character's life, or at least save you a faceplant, since nobody actually dies in City of Heroes. Definitely saves you a faceplant many, many times. It's helped me a lot. So yeah, I can't imagine not taking it. But a lot of people don't. And I remember, and I think I mentioned this in the Silver Phoenix playthrough, perhaps, or yeah, I think it was. My supergroup leader, Nina, who is pretty well acknowledged by most members of the group as being very, very good at doing build designs for players. People would like post their plan and like let her critique it, and she would almost always come up with a group of set bonuses that were better than whatever the player had come up with for almost any character. I'm sure she could do it with mine too. And so but when we were talking about Super Reflex and people were saying, yeah, we don't use it, I said, I don't know, I always use it. And Nina said, yeah, it's a great oh crap power, right? I mean, you may not use it all the time, but when something happens where it's like, oh crap, it's a good power to have because it'll just floor the enemies, and it'll give you, if nothing else, it'll give you time to like get the heck out of there, or click some inspirations, or call for help in group chat, or whatever it happens to be. And there have been many times you go back and watch my Silver Phoenix playthrough, right, the previous incarnation of this character on Homecoming. If you go back and watch that playthrough, you will see that there were a number of times when I got into a fight, I got in over my head somehow, and I was like, oh, and I literally said, oh crap, all right, and I clicked elude, and it saved us. right? And so, um, so yeah, I don't, I can't see not taking it. And under normal circumstances, I slot the heck out of it, right? I go ahead and slot it for triple recharge, and then I'll slot it for some defense. In the old days, it was worth triple slotting for defense as well. Um, Today, I don't know if that's true, but I definitely, I think I 5-slotted it, right? I think I gave it triple recharge, double defense. Wow, okay, so this is going to be a very difficult pull. Let's start with the nearest guy. We're just going to back up and let them come. Some of his friends will come too, but hopefully not the whole room. Was it really just him? Not bad. Let me get up. I want to see what this looks like from up here. Okay. Alright, we might be able to pull the middle guys. Looks like we did. The biggest problem with the clockworks, really, especially for this character right now, because she's constantly sucking wind, the biggest problem with them is endurance, right? Because their powers drain your endurance, as all electricity does. And you could see that with our Guardian, right? He drained endurance too. That makes it a little bit difficult. Okay. Don't think it'll aggro the other spawn. These guys, so one of the ways this works is members of a spawn are what's called chained together. And that's why when you attack one, the rest of them will come. I think I mentioned this before, in Star Wars Galaxies, this was called baffing, right? Sometimes they would say they're social, the enemies, but a baff enemy is an enemy who, when you attack them and they come after you, they bring a friend. And so the vernacular we would use in Star Wars Galaxies, if we weren't sure about something, is do these guys baff, right? And what that means is, do they bring a friend when you shoot them? When you attack them, are they going to bring a friend? they come with you, and they bring their friend with them to come after you. And I didn't know that could happen. I remember having my she was a dancer, a Twilight dancer, and I also made her a rifleman, I think, which was really kind of dumb because dancers need action. There's health action and mind, and riflemen use mind, and dancers use action. And I had a really high action bar and a really low mind bar, and so I didn't have a lot of mind to use to fight enemies. But I thought, hey, rifle's long range, it'll make it safer. So there was some kind of moth type creature that wasn't that powerful on Star Wars Galaxies, and I shot one of them, and I got absolutely swarmed by like 3 more. And I think one of the things that happened is Star Wars Galaxies would have like a lair, just a little graphical thing. In this case, it looked like a termite mound, and there were, say, 2 or 3 moths floating around it, and the mission was destroy the lair, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll just shoot the lair. Well, the way the algorithm worked, the first time you hit the lair, it would spawn enemies that would attack whoever hit the lair. And then when you got the lair down to half, it would spawn another spawn. And then when you got it down to a like 1 or 2%, when it was about to be destroyed, it would spawn another spawn. So I tapped the lair once, and the 3 guys around it came at me, and the 3 guys that spawned came at me, and I got attacked by like 6 guys, and they just completely obliterated me. It was really funny. Well, it's funny to talk about now. I didn't enjoy it then, of course. I was like, what the heck? How am I supposed to do this? Right? And it was only later that I realized you've got to try to pull one guy at a time, and take out everybody around the lair, and then you shoot the lair once and you wait for the new spawn and you take them out, and then you shoot the lair and you pay very careful attention, and when you get it down to half, you wait, and then when you get it down to just a sliver, you wait again. And so that eventually taught me kind of how to do missions just by trial and error. But anyway, yeah, so in most MMOs, not just City of Heroes, if a group of enemies spawn together and they are social, which not all enemies will be, but many are, and in City of Heroes, all of them are, the social enemies, when you attack one, everybody in their spawn will come at you. So, so if you have a spawn of 3 skulls here, and another spawn of 3 skulls here, if you attack this spawn, these guys will come at you, but these guys will probably ignore you unless you get too close and you get into their aggro range, because even though they can see each other, these guys are not chained to each other the way these guys are. And so even if the spawn's a little closer, if you hit one guy and back up, as long as you don't get into the aggro range of the other spawn, I often do that by accident, but if you don't get into the aggro range of the other spawn, you usually won't aggro them, which means draw aggression from them, because they're not chained together. Get over to Skyway City and take some Lost into custody. We can do that now because we're higher level. It was a lot harder when we were below level 15 trying to do this. This guy again looks like he's not going to give me a story arc. He's only offering me random crap. So we're going to go a little bit with him, and then we may move on to Jake Templar. We'll get him up to his max on the friendship chart. Right? We'll get him up to here, but if he hasn't given me a story arc by then, we're going to go with Jake Templar. Alright, so now we need to find some loss that we can handle. This looks okay. Because we now have Cobra Strike, I think this looks okay. We're definitely going to use some inspirations. We're going to come in here, we're going to hit the lieutenant rather than the minion, because I want to stun him, and then we're going to try to take the minion out real fast. Alright, and now it's just us against this guy. We should be alright. If we can hit. And we stunned him again. So that's why I took Cobra Strike. In addition to doing good damage, it'll do that stun. We get that soft control in between knockback and the mez. That gives us a pretty good chance to defeat even pretty tough enemies like red cons. Alright, so here's an orange con. There we go. That looks pretty good. So we're going to come in here, again, stun, if we can. Didn't work. Alright, so we're just going to have to try to knock him down. Yeah, our mez not working this time. Oh, we need to switch to combat jump. Whoops. Alright, we got him. And of course we missed the mez. As you can see, we don't need our Ghost Slaying Axe as much anymore. We don't use that as often. We really kind of almost don't need Brawl anymore. Let's switch that over. So we're doing a lot better. We have to be careful on the street because we cannot res. Only in instanced missions. I had one of my guildmates, super funny, and I was telling her that that I can only res in instances, and she said, "Well, you know, every single zone is technically instanced." And I was like, "Yeah, but that's not the spirit of Iron Man, right? That's not what I mean." And she knew that. She was just joking around. Okay, Headman Swordman. All right, so this guy, again, we're going to lead with a stun. Didn't work. But the knockback did. And Focus Chi does so much damage, he only got one shot off at me. So how are we doing on this mission? We got 10 more to go. Should I head a little further north? I feel like they're a little less red over here. Oh, there's a super patrol. So we're in... Oh, we're just about north of it. This is the Land of the Lost here. Okay, that looks good too. There we go. I'll do a knockback, and then we can pound these guys while he's getting up. Then I'm going to come back and stun. That worked. He's dizzy. We're going to shoot him. Right, and the whole idea is just try to keep him mezzed, and I now have 3 powers that do that, 2 of my own and 1 of these. Oh man, the super troll's coming after me. I'm going to ignore him, we're just going to finish this guy, and we're going to flee from this. Oh, he's just a lieutenant. Well, screw you. We can beat you up. I don't know why he aggroed to me, but okay. Alright, so we gotta look for more losts. Redcon. He's by himself. I think we can handle that. I love this song of Land of the Lost. The Land of the Lost zone here. There used to be a TV show called Land of the Lost when I was a kid, about people lost in a land of dinosaurs. I wanted to live there when I was a kid because I loved dinosaurs. I also had a little bit of a crush on, what was the girl's name? Holly. She's like blonde and had braids. That was sort of one of the hairstyles back then, was for girls to have braids. I think maybe because of Cindy Brady used to wear it like that. And I think Holly was, you know, like a teenager, like 13, 14 years old. And I had a little bit of a crush on her when I was like 9, 10. Okay, that's a little bit too rough. I don't mind 1. Oh man, look at the size of that spawn. Yeah, that's a little too rough too. Some of these are spawns I would just freaking go after. Is somebody coming after me? Will you stop it? Some of these are spawns I would just go after if I were not on Iron Man mode. Right? But because it's Iron Man, and you know, like, I don't have any luck, right? We gotta be careful. Stunned him. Uh-oh. Let's get some insight. Let's see if we can stun him again. Yep. Stun is helping a lot. Try to stun him again. Nah, missed him that time. Alright, let's take this guy out. Missed with one, didn't knock back with the other. Missed repeatedly, come on. There we go. Okay, so that is 3 more to go. And we're starting to run out of inspirations here, so we have to be careful. Alright, these 2 look alright. Especially since we have Focus Chi on. Right, because that completely takes one guy out. And there's the other guy. 1 to go. And that is not our guy. We are not doing purple. 2 oranges. They're just minions, so I think we can do it. Of course I missed. Of course I missed. With an accuracy inspiration running, I missed. Of course. Why would I hit? Missed again. Alright, so that completes the mission. We'll finish this guy up. Then we'll get out of here. This is a great example of a mission that when you're like actually new to the game, this mission would possibly get you killed. Alright, because you come in here, if you don't know how to manage aggro, if you don't know how to read the conning system, or not so much read it, but you don't know what you can handle, if you don't know exactly how to use and micromanage all of your abilities, and especially the inspirations, you could easily get your butt handed to you in this zone at this level. So now we're just taking down Lost over and over again. I think I'm going to call it here, guys. Let's go to Jim Templar and start the Fault Line story arc, because we know it's a story arc. And we'll come back to our other contacts after we finish Jim, and we're going to have to stop that sequence after Penelope Yin, I think, until level 20 anyway. But let's go ahead and do Jim Templar. We can grab the donut badge, which I actually don't have yet. Right there. And where's Jim? There he is. He's got a little plaque next to him. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a major rubber band. How are we doing on time? We're 27 minutes. I think we're going to stop here, guys. And we'll do Jim Templar next time. So until then, I am Scrapperlock. And this has been City of Heroes, Iron Man mode with Iron Phoenix on the Rebirth server.